Hello everybody and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Jaggerplex and I'm a fan of music. Listening to music, playing music, talking about music, whatever you want it, I got it. So I'm going to start off my first official album review by talking about one of my favorite artists in modern hip-hop, Mr. Denzel Curry. Denzel Curry is somebody who has been in the rap game for quite some time, but never quite caught my attention until he released his album Taboo, which was a little over a year ago. That's why the title of this video is 1 year later. It's just kind of a look back on the album, the way I took it in and perceived it a year ago versus how I perceive it now. So I, like a lot of you, became introduced to Denzel Curry through his 2015 breakout single, Ultimate. I'm sure you've all heard it. If you were on Vine, it was quite a big song, quite a big Vine meme song. And although I do think the song is catchy and mildly entertaining, I did find it for the most part to be, I guess, unimaginative. It's probably the best word I can think of. And because of that, I quickly brushed off Denzel Curry as just another generic meme rapper. And that was up until he released Taboo a little over a year ago. I think it's also important to note that this was around a time where I didn't follow modern hip hop as much as I do now. So I was oblivious to a lot of his previous projects at the time. So it was really on Taboo when I finally began to see and hear Denzel Curry develop this identity and establish himself as a mainstay here in modern hip-hop. So it was after hearing this album that I began to realize my mistake in brushing this guy off as just another meme. Clearly, he has something special and unique to offer. He's a man in his own league. He's a man of his own style. And yes, I'm fully aware that a lot of the ideas explored on Taboo aren't exactly new, per se. It is something that has been worked towards and has been culminating for quite a few years now. I don't want to go too deeply into Denzel Curry's previous projects in this video, at least, but you should know that they too are also an important reflection of Denzel Curry's talent and his songwriting ability, even if it isn't quite to the same extent as some of the stuff that you hear on Taboo, such as the song Clout Cobain, which is definitely one of the biggest showcases as far as what makes Denzel Curry such an eccentric, such an interesting and exciting songwriter. This guy comes in with a line about, he's over here spitting all these crazy thug lyrics, and then he comes in out of nowhere with a line saying that he's like Raichu because everything's so shocking to him. Like it's genius, it's perfect. It's probably my favorite line in the entire album. Another song I want to give a quick shout out to is the song Sirens. The song also features a wonderful verse by Jid. And Jid was someone that I hadn't really dived too much into. Once again, you gotta remember this was at a time where I didn't follow modern hip hop as much as I do now. So Jid was a name that I heard quite a bit, but I just never bothered to listen to him until after I heard him on Siren. But this guy instantly pulled me in with a very effective verse, and it really complemented Curry's style in this song. But definitely my favorite song on Taboo has to be the track Mad I Got It. It's a song that really kind of goes into detail about the inconsistent nature of human beings and Denzel Curry's own personal experience dealing with that kind of behavior, and the idea of jealousy, and how his journey to the top kind of brought out jealousy in a lot of people that were close to him, and they turned their backs on Denzel Curry. It's also an idea that's expressed pretty heavily in the preceding track, Switch It Up, which also goes into bipolar disorder. Very interesting song. Mad I Got It just holds a certain catchiness to it. For a while it was hard for me to kind of pinpoint my exact favorite on this album, but if I had to go with one, that's probably it. So before I get to my final thoughts, I just want to single out the song PERCS, where Denzel Curry shows a great amount of self-awareness, not only within himself, but his role within the overarching current rap scene as a whole. He calls out this kind of collective of artists whose work that he regards as mostly meaningless. It's one of very many personal and contemplative songs on this album. So, all in all, I would say that Denzel Curry's Taboo stands at a B+. It's a very strong B+. And it's honestly probably the same grade that I would have given it a year ago, but I do feel a lot more confident and affirmed in that opinion. Top 3 songs, I would say Mad I Got It, Sirens, and Perks. Least favorite is probably the closer, Black Metal Terrorist. Not necessarily a bad song, it's just the least good. And of course, you know, the purpose of this video is not to tell you what to think of the album. It's more of me just suggesting it to people who maybe just haven't given the album a chance yet. But I'm pretty sure most people who care about this album, or people who care about Denzel Curry, of course, have listened to it by now, given that it's been out for over a year. But anyone who's hesitant, anyone who's been putting this album off for a long time, don't do it anymore, man. It's a really good album. Anyone who's kind of looking for like that entry point into modern hip hop and getting into the more sophisticated side of it, this is definitely a great starting point. And of course, if you like this album, then there's no reason that you shouldn't go on to listen to his previous releases, just so you can kind of get more indulged in the wonderful mind of Denzel Curry. I'm definitely excited to see where he ends up in the next 2, 3, 5, 10 years. Also, go ahead and listen to that Bulls on Parade cover if you haven't already. What's up, guys? Thank you for making it to the end of this video. If you did, that makes you awesome. I'll be back in a few days with my next album review. It's actually going to be something that came out recently, something that I wanted to share my opinion on, maybe expose it, get it out there for some people who maybe haven't heard of it or haven't given it a chance yet. So if that sounds like something you're into, go ahead and click the subscribe button so you'll be notified when the video goes up. If you liked this video, then go ahead and give it a like. If you disagree with me, feel free to voice your opinions in the comment section below. But in the meantime, I'm going to be working on that next video, so I'll see you guys later.